To become a pilot at any level requires discipline. Adhering to procedures, understanding your responsibility to passengers and other pilots, and ensuring safe flight operations are essential to every flight. But even before stepping into the cockpit, pilots must recognize the level of responsibility that comes with operating an aircraft. Whether flying a small single-engine airplane or an Airbus A320, professional pilots must maintain strong cockpit discipline during every phase of flight. In this video, we speak with Captain Stephen Austin about cockpit discipline and how strict adherence to established standards, safety procedures, and forming strong habits can transform a good pilot into a great pilot. Before we begin, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for even more aviation tips and insights from Epic Flight Academy. Let's get started.
Hi, I'm Steve Austin. I fly for American Airlines. I'm on the Airbus 321 family, and I'm based in Miami. Cockpit discipline is an important part of my job. It involves strictly following the SOPs, which are standard operating procedures, maintaining your focus, avoiding distractions, and doing your tasks in a consistent, professional manner.
Cockpit discipline reinforces pilot safety through threat and error management, commonly known as TEM in aviation. This supports pilot error reduction, effective risk management for pilots, situational awareness, and consistent execution of aircraft operational discipline. A large part of cockpit discipline is adhering to standard operating procedures established by AOPA, using checklists as a verification tool and not just a to-do list, adhering to maintaining a sterile cockpit, and positive habits that improve efficiency ensure you won't miss a single step as a pilot.
SOPs are at the heart of all aircraft operations. They provide predictability, reduce workload. They also provide a baseline of performance. They're used in pre-flight procedures, checklist execution, aircraft handling, and all non-normal situations or procedures.
Checklists are a pilot's best friend. You may have the best memory in the world, but distractions could make you miss a step. To prevent this, here's a checklist to support cockpit practices. Sterile cockpit rule. During flight, avoid non-essential conversations, radios, or activities below 10,000 feet or during high workload phases, primarily during takeoff and landing. Flow, check, verify. Use a consistent flow or pattern for routine tasks. One example is GUMPS for landing. The pilot checks the aircraft's gas, undercarriage, mixture, props, and switches. Then the pilot verifies the information. Challenge response method. The pilot monitoring reads the item on the checklist, and the pilot flying the aircraft verifies the action. Physical tracking. When reviewing the checklist, keep your finger on the checklist item you are currently on to avoid skipping items. Interruption handling. If you are interrupted, start the checklist over or return to the last known completed item. Do not rely on memorization. Avoid memorizing the checklist. This leads to assumptions. Read every step to maintain consistency even in familiar flights. Proactive 5P check. Continuously evaluate the plan, plane, pilot, passengers, and programming. Secure environment. Keep the checklist in hand and in a prominent, easy-to-access location. Post-flight inspection. Ensure all systems are secured after landing to ensure readiness for the next flight. The FAA requires all pilots to be critical of their cockpit discipline. There are multiple contributors to that standard.
So the sterile cockpit rule means that anything from departure from the gate, taxi, takeoff, all the way through climbing through 10,000 feet, there, as well as, again, descending through 10,000 feet all the way to gate arrival, all conversations will be specific to aircraft operation, no superfluous conversations or distractions. Some of the ways that we avoid distractions and helps us with sterile cockpit is closing the cockpit door during pre-flight or reminding each other that, maybe we should keep the conversation focused on the operation of the flight.
Another key factor for a pilot is communication. Clear aircraft communication protocols in the cockpit ensures that information is shared accurately, misunderstandings are minimized, and situational awareness is maintained. Whether you are flying yourself or with a crew, nothing will be accomplished if you don't properly and clearly communicate. There is a lot to manage within the cockpit. Prioritizing tasks will make your job flow much more smoothly by delegating tasks when applicable, avoiding unnecessary tasks during critical phases, and keeping the cockpit organized throughout a flight.
Effective and accurate communication is extremely important. We like to keep it brief and very specific. During the flight, we would contact or have communication with the flight attendants, the first officer, obviously, and then as well as the gate agents, mechanics, dispatchers, crew trackers, crew schedulers, all those the captain is typically communicating with, as well as maintenance people.
Maintaining strong situational awareness requires continuously scanning both the instruments and the surrounding environment, while monitoring aircraft position and energy state. Pilots can improve situational awareness through strong briefing habits, clear and effective communication, and by using threat and error management strategies to recognize and manage risks. Understanding human factors in flight safety is also essential to reduce risk. Factors such as fatigue, stress, and cognitive overload can directly affect aviation decision-making and overall performance in the cockpit. Many pilots use the I'm Safe and PAVE checklists before flying to help evaluate readiness and identify potential risks before they become problems. Building strong pilot proficiency habits and maintaining good cockpit habits help pilots recognize threats more quickly, make better decisions under pressure, and reduce the likelihood of error.
Mistakes are exactly that, just unintentional errors that come up, and that's natural, just being a human being. It can be forgetting a task, lack of descent planning or planning in general, not following SOPs or sterile cockpit procedures. That's why there's two pilots in the flight deck, so we kind of cover for each other. One person forgets something or makes a mistake, the other person is there to correct it.
There are instances where distraction has gotten the better of pilots and resulted in tragedy. On September 11, 1974, Eastern Airlines Flight 212 was on approach to Charlotte Douglas International Airport. The crew of the McDonnell Douglas DC-9 were engaged in a conversation about politics. In addition to their cockpit distraction, poor weather conditions also distracted them from their descent rate and their altitude, which led them to crashing short of the runway. This accident killed 72 of the 82 passengers on board. The final NTSB report issued on May 23, 1975 stated the following. The National Transportation Safety Board determines that the probable cause of the accident was the flight crew's lack of altitude awareness at critical points during the approach due to poor cockpit discipline and that the crew did not follow prescribed procedures.
Distractions and SOPs and sterile cockpit procedures are kind of all related. It's not always possible to avoid distractions. Somebody comes into the flight deck and has a question or an issue that comes up and you're running a checklist, you would stop the checklist, address the person, and then typically I would restart the checklist from the top. It's super important to be able to re-engage a task or a checklist where you left off following a distraction.
Developing a strong cockpit safety culture means consistently following procedures, respecting standard operating procedures and regulations, and always continuing to learn and improve. In a safety-first environment like the cockpit, maintaining discipline and following established standards helps create predictable, professional, and safe operations. Professional pilots are expected to demonstrate high levels of professionalism, remain committed to aviation professionalism, and take accountability for their actions. The true meaning of cockpit discipline goes beyond simply following rules. It reflects a mindset built on responsibility, precision, and continuous awareness throughout every phase of flight.
Pilots are expected to be mentally and physically prepared for each flight. That means being well rested, not being hungry, having a clear mind, being able to focus. They're expected to be proficient in their tasks and their knowledge. And training helps with that. That's really the foundation of each flight. We rely on our training heavily for every single flight that we do.
Cockpit discipline is not optional. It is essential. Pilots combine strong adherence to SOPs, clear communication, sound decision-making, and an understanding of human factors in flight safety to maintain safe and efficient operations. By creating and maintaining a strong culture of safety, pilots help protect lives through consistency, focus, and professionalism, ensuring every flight is conducted with the highest level of responsibility. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for even more aviation tips and insights from Epic Flight Academy.